Big Dragons, I'm back to start another video. So I'm here to do my April TBR. I'm excited for April, but I'm also a little bit nervous for April because I'm doing two very different readathons in the same month, which is really exciting, but also nervous because I know March was not my best reading month. Like, I had a lot of issues in March. It was a long month. March was like the longest month teaching wise because you don't really have any breaks. We had one sort of day off, which was nice, but like it just was a weird month, and my show kind of hit its peak and some stuff didn't go exactly right with my show, and that's just what happens when you do a show for the first time in 4 years, and it's been a lot, but we're on the mend. We're on the recovery road, which is really, really great. So yeah, I'm going to focus today on talking about my Orilium TBR and then doing my yearly TBR and then also doing like my e-arcs and such, just to sort of get everything organized. But Orilium is the one that has like prompts, and then the Realmathon TBR, I'm just Team Enya, which is Team Fantasy, and a lot of these books will kind of work for that, and then any of the other books I don't work for that will just sort of work for like defending realms and like attacking and defending. So we will figure that all out. I'm really excited. But yeah, let's get into it. So for Orilium, I'm a Mind Walker is my like race, my class, and I'm also a Dream Walker, which I really, really like. So yeah, I have to take like 6 classes. If you have no idea what Orilium is, go look at Book Rose video because this is going to make little to no sense. But that is what I'm doing, and I have to take 6 classes. So I have to take astronomy class, which has 2 E's in a title. And again, if you know what I'm talking about, that's okay. So the book that I chose that has 2 E's in the title is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. This is actually, ironically, this is about dreams and like dream walking and stuff like that. That would be fun to read this month because that's what this book's about. This is the one that I got a very, very long time ago from Owl Crate, and it is a HarperCollins book, so I haven't been able to read that for a while. So yeah, this will be the book that I'm reading for that, which I'm really excited for. Again, I don't know much about it, but I know it has to do with dream walking or dreams, I think. Yeah, I think she has to do with dreams. And her father is a dream walker. And yeah, I'm excited. I have liked one of Rebecca Ross's books that I liked, and I didn't really love the second one, but this is her standalone, so I'm excited to dive into this one. So this one will be for that prompt. And then the next book is that I need to read is for the class Alchemy. And I need to read a book with metal in the title. This might be like a little bit of cheating, but I'm going to read The Self-Same Metal by Brittany Ann Williams. I got this, I don't even remember when I got this. I think I got this in New York City Comic Con. But this is a stunning new YA fantasy series, perfect for fans of Holly Black and Justina Ireland, about a black sword expert fighting in a Fae uprising in Shakespearean London. And I'm all about theater. If you don't know, I'm a theater teacher, so this one actually works out perfectly. And yeah, it has a map too, and it's 1605 in London. I'm so excited. I think it comes out in April, so I'm right on track. And I've wanted to read this for a really, really long time, and I love Fae. So, really excited for this one. And then the next one I have to read is read a book of the color that matches your shirt. So I don't know if that means like my character's shirt or like my shirt the day that I'm wearing it. So I may have to change this, but I love blue and I wear blue a lot, especially because it's actually funny because last month we had like theme days and we had to pick something to wear every single day. So I really haven't worn my own clothes in like a month to my job because we've all been themed. So yeah, I'm going to put a book with blue on the cover, and if I get to that day and I'm not wearing something blue, I will try to like make it work. And also, I never talk about my audiobooks, but that might happen. I don't know. But the book I'm going to choose is Mora Oshani Steals the Sword of Wind by Misha Shigeruya. This came out it's coming out in April actually, so I am on the e-arc team for this as well, so I have to read it. And yeah, it's a middle grade fantasy book about a mythology themed adventure. So Percy Jackson fans should be alert, and I'm really excited for this one as well. A lot of fantasy on this TBR. A lot of fantasy. And then I have to read a book that is a certain number in length. So for spells and incantations, I have to read a book that's between 389 and 415. So let me go get the rest of my books in my TBR, and then we'll chat through them. Sorry, I was a bad booktuber in that moment, and I didn't actually grab the books. But spells and incantations, I need to read a book that's between 389 pages and 415. So for this book, I'm going to pick up a book that I've had on my TBR for so long. It's a thriller, and it's called Revere by Ryan Lasala. And I think it's exactly $3.92, so this is perfect. And this is a thriller, and I was supposed to read it last month, and I didn't. But when I got this book, it was pitched to me as like an Inception-esque, and I love that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Elliot Page, so I'm really excited for this one. I don't know anything about it, but again, I think it's kind of like he gets sucked into this world, and it's a mystery thriller. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. And then the next class I have to take is Conjuring, which is read a book that's recommended by a friend. And me and my friend Jen, we went to a signing for Rebelle by Mia Smith, and I got a copy, so she's in the middle of it. She says I would like it. I've also read Nightbirds recently and really liked it. This is the 1920 S Society with Magic, so I'm gonna add that to my TBR as well. And then the last one is for lore class is read a map book. So I have a couple of options. I really want to read The Tattered Mage by Melissa Caruso. It's an adult fantasy book, and I've been trying to kind of read more of that. It does have a map, but also if like something happens and I have to return it to the library tomorrow and I'm not going to get a copy of it, I can also do Crooked Kingdom. So yeah, those are the books that are from my Orilium TBR, and then like honestly, all of these books will get used for my Realmathon Enya team, but like a lot of these that are fantasy will be, and a lot of these are fantasy. So yeah, let me go get the other books that I have, which are not a lot. A lot of these will just be that. And I'll see if I'm going to add any other ones just to see how my TBR cards look, because the rest of them are e-arcs. So yeah, let's go get those books and then we'll chat through the rest of my TBR. So the next books I'm going to focus on is like my yearly TBR. So the two YA fantasy books I am going to focus on, some of them I have mentioned again, but just to kind of fulfill those prompts, is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross, which I've talked about, and Castle in Their Bones by Laura Sebastian. This is also an e-arc that I have, and it's been on my TBR for a while. This book is also over 500 pages, and I need to read one for like the Orilium year-long TBR, and this was the one I was going to read and I just didn't get around to it in March, so I think I'm going to add these two for my YA fantasy books that are on my TBR. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And then the other book on here is my nonfiction. I'm going to read my Michelle Obama one. I'm in the middle of it. I have like 4 hours left. I probably could have finished it tonight, but I'm waiting. So yeah, I'll add the photo here. It's her second one, and I got it for pretty cheap on Libro FM. So I'm going to attach the photo here, but I'm about 4 hours in. So that will count for something, hopefully. But yeah, really excited for that one as well. And now, here is the photo. And then sequel-wise, I'm also going to add Crooked Kingdom on here. And again, this is another like 500-page book. But I do have a lot of like not teaching days this month, so I hope I can get some reading done. So yeah, this will be my sequel. And if I don't wind up finishing this, I'm going to count the Hathaways book. But I'm going to put it on this thing because like these 3 books in themselves were on my 5-star read predictions. So I would like to start a new 5-star read prediction before the summer. So these 3 will get read. And now let's just talk about my e-arcs that I'm really excited to read. So I have 5 e-arcs on my TBR, and it's kind of a mix between some fantasy and some like non-fantasy. But the first book I'm going to chat about was Castle in Her Bones, which I just did chat about. That is an e-arc that I do have a really, really old copy of, so I will count that for NetGalley. I'm also going to count the new Caitlin Hill book, Never Leave Friends or something. I'll attach the photo here. This book is like, I think it's like Second Chance or like Friends to More, and these 2 kids spend the summer in California, and one's dad is like a producer on like a reality TV show, like a dating show, and the other girl kind of becomes a contestant. And I think it's like a Friends to More romance, which is my favorite. I'm about 30% into it and really, really enjoying it. And then another contemporary book on there is Promposal by Rochelle Garrett. And this, I think it's like about kind of like prom, and I think they like, Business' Born is to like make really over-the-top promposals, and I'm really excited for this. This is also a really, really short book, which is going to work for this month because I have some massive books on my TBR. This is actually going to be the next book that I read. So yeah. And then I have some fantasy books. I have the new Emma Mills book, Something Closer to Magic. So here's the photo of that. And so sorry I know nothing about this, but this is Emma Mill's first book in quite a while, and it's a fantasy, and I think it has to do with like a baker's assistant that kind of goes on an adventure, and I'm really excited. I've loved her first couple of books, and then she kind of hit like a very, very redundant streak with her contemporaries, but I still did enjoy them all, so I'm excited to see what she does with a fantasy book. And then the last book is Hunger of Thorns by Lily Wilkinson. Here's the photo. This is a book that both Amy Kaufman and Kate J. Armstrong have really recommended, and it's coming out soon. I'm also on a blog tour for Promposal, Better Off Friends, and Hunger of Thorns. So I have to read those anyway. But yeah, those are my like e-arcs that I have in my TBR. And now I'm just going to round out my TBR with some books to just make sure my cart looks full, because I hate empty TBR carts. So let's get into those. And I'm just going to toss these books on here because I want a little bit more variety, but I also need to fill up my TBR cart. So 3 Drops of Blood by Gretchen McNeil is a murder mystery thriller that's set in the theater world. I may combine this and read it when I'm reading Self-Same Metal because it has a theater connection. Cast in Firelight by Daniel Swift is about an arranged marriage and royalty, which I am really excited for. I think I started this a couple of times and I just never got around to it. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I want to read this to give it to one of my students before he leaves for the summer because he's a senior, and I think he'll get a kick out of this. And everyone has really, really loved this. I think you know what this book is, but I'm excited for him to read it because I think he'll like it. The Davenports by Christelle Marcus, which is another one that I wanted to read. I'm just running out of time, but this is kind of, I got it at the same time with when I got Queen Bee, and this is it's set in Chicago, and it's featuring an all-black main cast, and I love Bridgerton, so I'm excited to see a bit more diversity. And then all of these are fantasy. One is Unseelie by Izzy and Husman, and this is a twin sister novel, but I think the main character has autism, which I'm really excited for. Another Amy Kaufman pick was The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jusquilla. This again is one that I should have probably read in winter, but it's okay. We're gonna read it. It will be fine. Spellbound by F.T. Lukens comes out in April, and this is a magic themed novel. And Stolen Hair by Holly Black. So yeah, I'm sure not all of these will get read, as always, but I like making TBRs. I like it. So yeah, tell me in the comments what are some books you're super excited to read. If you're participating in Realmathon or Orilium, I would love to know. Let's see if the books on my TBR stay the books that I picked for those games. They never do, but we will see. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys for my next video. Bye, Book Dragons.